Thanks as well with Robert and everybody. Thanks so much. So I've been on this job for about 14 months. It is what I always thought would be my dream job. And it took me 30 years to realize that I would take the plunge and do it. I started at the organization when I came out of school as an attorney, and left and worked for close to 20 years at another large nonprofit in New York City called the Community Service Society, where I was doing both litigation and policy work as well on issues affecting the poor in New York City. And I got to go back, and we're now working on basically the organization formerly known as the Puerto Rican Legal Defense and Education Fund, now called Latino Justice PRLDEF, in large part to deal with the wider disparity, incredibly rich disparity of Latino communities in the Northeast as well. And we've been doing work up and down the seaboard, mostly these states up and down from Florida all the way out to Boston, on a number of issues. And we really have about 4 pillars of our work currently. Immigrants' rights, part of the team of attorneys in Alabama, South Carolina, sued jurisdictions in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, sued ICE for home raids in Long Island, those kind of lawsuits. Voting rights, in which I'm doing knee-deep in redistricting. Good to see a handful of voting rights veterans here like myself for many years. I can't believe it's my 4th round of redistricting. But it's been incredible work in New York. We have pending cases in Pennsylvania. I'd like to file a new case in Orange County, Florida very soon. But we're going to be knee-deep in perhaps an NVRA case or Section 5 case against Florida's decision to purge 180,000 people, conveniently right before a federal election. So we're working in tandem with other groups there, and we're likely to bring that lawsuit very soon. Then we also do quite a bit of work on workers' rights, employment discrimination issues, wage theft, sexual harassment on the job for Latina, especially for Latina workers in places like Rhode Island. And finally, I've been having the organization also look at law enforcement issues, and that's what I really want to talk to you about today. The organization has been pretty active in insisting on full investigations for various police departments, Suffolk County Police Department in New York especially, the department was notorious for ignoring the complaints of public safety from Latinos who lived there, especially the immigrant community. They weren't being taken seriously. It took, unfortunately, the death of one young man, Marcelo Lucero. Lucero was a young man coming home from work and was beat up, and nobody took his complaint seriously. Of course, he passed away. Finally gives it a national focus, and finally Suffolk County Police has started to change. And thanks to this current administration's Justice Department, we have a full investigation of that department as well. Got a chance, as soon as I started working here about a year ago, to be part of a team of people to go down to Puerto Rico to have the Puerto Rico Police Department also fully investigated by the Department of Justice. That's another investigation that's going on right now. We were lucky to be part of a team to try to make shed some light on it. So the work around law enforcement, suits against ICE agents and everybody else had been going on for quite some time. The office, however, has not really litigated too many cases against police departments per se until I got here. And we're just now part of a team in an action that just was filed about a month ago called Ligon, L-I-G-O-N, versus New York City and the New York City Police Department and Commissioner Ray Kelly. It's for what we call New York, I love these handles, hallway stop and frisk. So that's what we're suing about. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. I've had a lot of exposure to the criminal justice system in various phases. I've done everything in the criminal justice system except prosecute somebody. But I almost became a prosecutor when I came out of school because I wanted to have a really good job as a trial attorney. All the word was, you got to work for Morgenthau, you got to work for Morgenthau, you'll be an excellent trial attorney. So I did the incredible decision, because I'm a public interest lawyer from day one, of applying for a job with Morgenthau's office when I came out of school, and it only took about 2 rounds of interviews for them to realize I'm not really a prosecutor. I kept making exceptions. I'm not the prosecutor for this, I'm not the prosecutor for that, so lo and behold, I didn't get that job. Pretty obvious.